Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DP Labs channel. In today's video, you'll get to see what's new and exciting here at DP Labs. I'll also be giving you a detailed tour of the advanced engineering systems in my new house. You'll find out about our important rules for advancing through plastics, lots of recent changes, and plenty of interesting things to discover. So, shall we begin? All right, everyone, we're doing a bit of a rework here on the VAF traffic system. This is the tool changer. Sometimes it jams or gets stuck during operation. The machine is already 20 years old. We decided to completely overhaul it. Here, Alisa is working with the spring component. There were also burnt mushrooms everywhere here. They multiplied. And here are the forks. Vanya, show what's happening with the forks. We'll probably try to regrind them. Shine a light. That's it.
It wears out. This one is more or less okay, but this one...
Sometimes the tool gets jammed occasionally. It's typically worn down slightly by a couple of millimeters over time. This tool is burnt and sometimes gets jammed. Some areas have lost a few millimeters. Try putting it in the hardness tester to check how hard it is.
Let's pick something suitable. We know how to harden it.
Yeah, because I don't think you can buy one anymore now. Do we even have enough of the spring? Yeah.
To close it.
For it, here there's
An interesting spring system with small covers. It pushes them away. Is the spring strong enough? Yes, it closes it.
When the tool comes up, it moves and sets the fork. What else is inside the machine? Nothing.
Nothing else broke. Everything's fine. Well, no. And you can see that basically it just has... There's a spring on the opposite side between the weights. The tools move over here, and in this process they carefully spread apart and are then inserted right here for clarity.
Clamp it on the opposite side, move the tool, spread the parts, insert them, and set them in place. Weld using Pakistani technology. Apply little grease with a brush. With molybdenum, we worked on Powell's mask, the same blue one he always uses. We use molybdenum disulfide for the job. So that's how it is, gentlemen. We're fixing things ourselves, taking care of the repairs on our own. By the way, we repaired the 5 as well. We replaced the guides on it, making sure everything was properly aligned. Now it works really well. Even better than before, almost as if it were brand new.
You could say the guides are Chinese, but it's fine. I think they'll last. What can you do? They'll last. They're pretty decent. Do you remember how much it cost us to swap them? Yeah, the guys came, worked here for about 3 days, maybe a bit less, and they charged no more than 200 for the job.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Vanka was working on them here until they got them just right. That's it. And the guides themselves were 160, so that's still okay. 3,000 or 4,000 should be enough, I guess. Depends on how hard we push it. That's how it is. So here are the insides of this 20-year-old wave. It's interesting from this side. What are these? Some kind of bacterial films? No idea. Looks like a kombucha mushroom. Mushrooms are everywhere, even in small spaces. We don't know what they are. Maybe bacterial films or kombucha. Cleaning and chemicals didn't help. Our main concern is stopping them from taking over. So, gentlemen, everything's been gathered while I was running around here. They already have their own, as expected,
Culture. The main thing is
that they don't take over us. So, gentlemen, everything's been gathered together. While I was running around here, making sure everything was ready, all of it was collected. We need to insert it now. Vanya is the chief inserter.
It's going in. Hold it steady.
Vanya, are you holding...
So is it?
What is it attached to, anyway? Well, it is attached to the washer, and this is done through the bolts that hold it in place. You need to make sure to align the pin right there so it fits properly. Take a moment and look at it carefully. Look at it closely and make sure everything is lined up as it should be. Little right, left. Come on, more. Vanya, up. This way a bit, however it's comfortable. Line it up. Not going in on my side. Vanya, towards you. Where?
Towards you.
Screw it in. Oh, the thread is stuck. It's not.
Let's go, everyone. Together now. Let's get moving.
Why isn't the stone flower coming out, Danila the Master? And a gentleman? The finger? Painting girl in the machine? Through SMS registration?
Without registration at all, Sumas. Not funny. Here it is. Well, it's actually aligned perfectly with the pin, but it just sits there.
Doesn't go down here, perhaps you noticed. So,
We need to carefully pull out the pin and then stick it right in here, making sure it fits properly. Look, you'll never really get enough mushrooms no matter how much you try. Damn! Come on, let's try again. Something's happening right now at this very moment as we speak.
hard to see.
What do you see? That's very interesting from metal. It's hard to see, right?
How many people do you need? Lyoka, you climb in too, please. You...
That is not quite enough. You have long, extended limbs.
I remember him there alone. I remember him, just him.
I put it all together really by myself. We didn't film Lyoka like that.
Lyoka would have scattered it in an hour easily, without any difficulty at all.
Did you do it as a guriteker? Subtitle made?
Now, that's a different matter. You can't swallow half. Quiet, we're filming for a serious channel. Let's not swear. That's it. It's different. Listen, it's coming.
I can feel it. No, it's not working. Hold on. Before
The number 5 is a whole number that comes after 4 and before 6. It is often used to represent a quantity of 5 items, objects, or people. In many situations, when you count from 1, 2, 3, 4, the next number you say is 5.
let's shield Alisa's face. She'll be fine.
Yeah, what did he say? Is it okay? Basically, he gives us several, like she goes everywhere. Only
Free? Complain more. Maybe he'll pay. Take 2 clamps. Enough? Let's do it right. They don't give up. They always keep on going. Persistence, persistence.
It really is a good thing, and I am genuinely pleased about it. At the same time, my hand is starting to feel quite tired now after everything I have done. I keep wondering, why did he do that?
He's actually sitting right next to you, so could you please ask him directly right now? It really helps her feel much calmer and more at ease. Olesia.
Do you see what I mean? At least we are making sure to give something to the Pushtikta, even if it is not a lot. Yes, at least she is able to receive the push too, and that is something for her. Gentlemen, my hand is really starting to cramp up. So I'm going to pause the filming for a little while, just for now. Yeah, that was really great, BDSM. Really, really great indeed. So, is it in already?
Hooray. It's going. Pausing. Action continues. Is it in? Yes, second one's moving. Amazing. Wow.
One is turning at 4 or watching. Hooray. Careful, careful. You did a really great job. Well done. Well, that's how we work, folks. One turns at 4 watch. That's it. All done. Hooray. See, no support. Careful, careful. You did a great job. Thank you. It all worked out. Here is our heroine. Learn from her, follow her example. Do we have a clamp? A clamp. Look how we tie the hair in engineer's way. There. Reliable. Nice. A tough pillow. So tough. She sleeps on a gas cylinder.
Alisa is so tough she sleeps halfway. We've arrived at Stanislav. We want to tell you what's going on here with our plastics. We struggled with this thermo-injector, but it works. You can use it, but it's not that interesting. So we started picking out resins for a photopolymer 3D printer. There are even resins for dental technicians, like these. They're certified for contact with the human body. There are all sorts of engineering resins. Our printer is pretty old, like this. It has 4K resolution. The 4K resolution is enough for us for now, even 2K really.
Let's show you what we're getting. So what's what? This one here is white plastic. It's called Touch Resin Ultra. What's its advantage? When you heat it up to about 80 degrees Celsius, it becomes very soft. That lets us put it on here and it locks in place.
We tried breaking it in a press. The next plastic specifically on the lid is an engineering grade, really hard plastic, and it even actually makes good threads. On the fingertips, it's strong. We tried breaking it in a press. Next,
the lid plastic is hard plastic and makes good threads.
It does. Well, we cut threads in it and it holds. This is that plastic right here. Show it here. They're working on it over there. That's what they look like. And overall, the quality is really
good. And how many do you print at once?
Pieces. I load these right away. For example, for 8 prostheses at once, all together in a single batch. On this printer, it takes about 24 hours to complete the printing process, but on a normal printer, you can print them in just about an hour. Here are the myosensor cases. This is regular plastic and both slides are just for practice. This was the first one we bought and we tried printing the myosensor cases. Well, it prints pretty decently, but
these are such removable prostheses.
The dental ones. Yes, it will indeed be in direct contact with the skin. And the printer is specifically for this resin. That's why I increased the print time. Right now, it's actually printing for about 5 hours in total. At 4:56, it will finish printing the very first case. By the way, we can actually pause it at any time and see what it's already printed so far. Let's lift it up now to take a look at the progress.
The cycle will end, and it doesn't smell. And dental plastic is actually very strong, right? Here it is.
This was a cube printed for scaling, so it doesn't... Beautiful. And dental plastic is actually very strong, right? Yes, we made a cube and tested it with a press. This was a cube printed for scaling, and
so it really doesn't
break. It just gets compressed and changes shape under really extreme force. In my opinion, it's a cool plastic. And then
we bake all of this as well. Yes, we'll show you now how we bake it. It's printing well so far, with each layer baking for 40 seconds. The light source isn't very strong, but nothing has gone wrong. I haven't seen photopolymer printing in a while. Because before this, at an earlier time, approximately, the situation was different than it is now. The circumstances that existed prior to this moment set the stage for what would happen next.
5 years ago, I thought it was fragile junk, but with proper resins, it's now great. What did you invent for curing? Is it better to cure plastics with UV light after? Yes, we use mesopropyl alcohol in 2 baths, dirty then clean, to wash off excess, then cure them more. We used a microwave with a 405 UV matrix. The wavelength is nanometers. And so there was no turntable here, so we put in a kind of rotating platform. If there had been a native turntable with a motor, we wouldn't have added anything, just left it as is. So instead of the transformer and magnetron, we connected the power supply for the LED matrix. And what did that give us? So when we carefully close it and then set the timer, the matrix display turns on and begins to illuminate the rotating part of the device. The timer still works. The power as well, basically it will turn on and off according to the set time. So in other words, if we open it, the cycle is interrupted.
Cheap setup with duct tape, microwave, timer and power work.
It operates on a timer and is safe.
The cycle breaks now.
You won't see anything. I recommend using a cheap microwave mirror to block light from your eyes, but the strong matrix still shines through. It won't work. Well, okay, let's not press it for now. I'll just close my eyes for a moment. It's just that it...
Heats well. Spin 2 to 3 min by parts. Some plastics need drying.
Microwave grill?
Put it in here. Volts. I'm just worried that
Lithium-ion batteries don't like 60 degrees. We need the original motor and plate. Microwaves are cheap, but drying chambers cost about 20,000. How much does it actually cost to just buy one for yourself right now? Well,
our matrix cost about 500 rubles. We ordered it on Ozon. The little table will help with photo shoots. Everything's good. That's the situation here. Let's continue. We've redesigned the test stand for prosthesis durability tests since variable loads are needed. I don't recall the exact range.
yes, 4 kilograms each. A total load of 80 newtons per...
Each one weighs 4 kilograms, right? Yes, that's correct. Each individual piece is 4 kilograms, which means the total load adds up to 80 tons, depending on the variable conditions. Yes, I specifically made this design a bit eccentric. Here, let me show you.
Eccentric printed...
Printed with engineering plastic on a photopolymer, it must do 200,000 squats. 50 are done. Watch the test at 6.5 volts. And we monitor it remotely through a webcam. Yes, here's the camera right here. Well, it's working rather slowly, just taking its time. That's how it looks. Pavlik here. Chick, 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 chick. Pavlik. Don't be afraid. The peacocks have woken up. Pavlik. Where are you going? Beautiful. Unlike chickens, they actually clean themselves really well, keeping their feathers neat and tidy. And where's your buddy? Handsome, come here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move to the greenhouse, which has now been renamed the gym. So what has happened here during this time? We removed the garden beds and structure, cleared the soil, and cleaned everything for painting. The metal framework will also be cleaned and painted with 2-component polyurethane. The greenhouse is now called the gym. Over here we're building a sauna bath, you see, and the partitions for the shower are made of brick. Specifically, that's where the reinforced concrete belt is located. All of this will be covered with MDF panels on this side. So what's happening? We're building a sauna bath, and showers. Partitions are brick with a reinforced concrete belt. This side will likely be covered with laminated chipboard and will cover this area too. You'll see that later. Inside, there will be a toilet here and a shower there. And right here, we'll take out this wall. There will be a panoramic window here. If we have a window from some tower in Moscow with something like that, we're rough plastering now. The steam room will be here. We'll remove this wall for a panoramic window from a Moscow city tower. We'll also add a cold water plunge tub here. If you get too hot in the steam room, you can cool off or wash your face. There will also be a door right here, which will lead out onto a spacious wooden deck area, extending towards the beautiful pond. We'll put a wooden barrel with heating over there, and maybe you can dive into the pond. So that's how it's going to be. So that convenience, people heat can wash up like it. We'll also be bored here, out into a wooden deck towards the pond. We'll put a wooden barrel heating over there, and then you can dive into the pond. So that's how we'll do it ourselves. The worker will use the day too. I think there's more than space. There will be glass here. We'll cover it up with architectural foam. Reflective film. We bought it cheaply in China. Otherwise, it gets way too hot in here. With reflective film, we bought it cheaply in China. Otherwise, it gets too hot. Fan coils will hang here, running on water. Ventilation is also cooled. Heating will be provided, preheating, ventilation. There will also be fan coils. We'll have 4-pipe ones, which also provide heating. Underfloor heating will be everywhere. We'll probably put some kind of floor covering. We'll do dry screed everywhere. Polyurethane. Where dumbbells are used, we'll put a rubber covering. That's it. I think we'll just throw it on and get it done. All right, now let's go. I'll show you what changes we've made to the engineering systems in the basement. Gentlemen, we are in Mr. Metkov's lair. Mr. Metki, say hello. I think we'll just throw it on now and get everything done. All right, let's go now. I'll show you what changes we've made to the engineering systems in the basement. Gentlemen, we are in Mr. Metkov's lair. Mr. Metki, say hello. We're redoing the water supply, heating, and so on here, basically converting it for a greenhouse. We really love stainless steel with press fittings. We stocked up our press fittings in bulk right in China. The quality is decent. So what do we have here? Mr. Vermetki, is this by any chance our cold water?
Yes, absolutely, certainly.
This is dirty cold water. We have it. Mr. Vermetkin, is this our cold water? Yes, this is dirty cold water. When Mr. Vermetkin was learning to weld, he practiced on these collectors. Now he welds better, but even then I like the quality. He welded this collector. This is for dirty water, which is well water without filtration. It is used for the filtration system, and for the fan coils, we have one like this here. There's a homemade one installed, and when it gets hot, we cool it using a radiator from, well, an industrial refrigerator. That's basically how everything is set up here. These valves are detachable, pretty cool. Then here we have a homemade cyclone filter, not stainless steel, which does some preliminary cleaning. And here we have clean water. The clean water collector, after all the filtration, is located in the garage basement. A 10 P&D pipe comes in, and then it goes on from there. I don't like compression fittings, that's just how it is. For the manifold, we use electrofusion or solder fittings for HD pipes, not compression ones, which I consider temporary. Electrofusion fittings are now inexpensive. We use a regular lab power supply, as the required voltage is shown, and soldering works well. In cold weather, just hold it longer. Here we also have this manifold, and separately a boiler like this. This is just for the gym. The thermic seems pretty good. It's 3-phase, and from it the hot water is distributed. So here there's a hot water manifold like this. Well, it's just what was available. It was welded for other purposes, so there's no such thing as 2 millimeters. The pipe used here is 28 millimeters, which you can find at the metal scrap yard. I found this pipe. It's a bit thick, but it was cheap, so it works fine. This is a 28 millimeter electric welded pipe, which fits these press fittings. It costs about 300 rubles per meter, if you look around. Over here, you can find 35 millimeters as well. The 35 millimeter one costs 700 rubles per meter. Well, it's just that there was already a piece here, and then we switched to the 28 millimeter one. That's for other purposes. Here, we'll gradually tidy everything up and we'll insulate everything with this kind of insulation. Seryoga is gluing it together with complex glue, and it turns out great. Well, that's how it is. So yes, we painted the walls here. There was a bit of moisture, so we treated everything with Penetron in several layers. Then here, this is an epoxy 2-component paint. The result is actually turning out to be really quite nice and quite impressive. Little by little, we're modifying everything like this. Oh, and here, these crazy joints barely fit in. You can take a look here.
Later this will be connected to a 25mm cross-linked polyethylene pipe, so it can be embedded in the screed up there. And here are these balancing and adjustment drives. This is so that a specific flow goes to the fan coils. Here's one joint. And here's the second. These are the motor valves that are used to adjust. Now everything is going up there. Yes, we're kind of under This is our crusher. It's a powerful and efficient machine for breaking down materials. Kirill really likes to call it the master, but for me personally, it's always actually just the crusher. Now we're making it look even more finished. We even installed fuses over there. Of course, they're not quite the right ones, but permanent ones are expensive and we can't find the right power rating. Here we're soundproofing everything, making a panel. Everything's being done, getting sorted out, and we installed the winch. And over here we have installed a diesel heater right here, and here is the second cable. Everything is very nicely done. The electrical connections are all here, and this is the power line. You can even lift it up. Go ahead. Here is the BMS, the 12-volt converter, contactors, something else, some kind of noise filter, current sensor. Everything is being measured. Here the wiring was laid out more or less properly. It was lagging a bit before. There you go. Well, actually, very soon, everything will be running smoothly and in proper condition. Right over here, we have made a small tank specifically for diesel, which is used for the heater. Where is it? Wait, I missed it. Now we'll get it. There you go. That's how it looks right now. Here's one of the cabins, and over there, you can see the second one as well. That's how it is. So what else did I want to show? Here. They made an entertaining and fun handbrake with an electric drive. They used this electric actuator. Here it pulls the hypercylinder. And that's how the handbrake works. But soon everything will look great. Now the doors will be installed here, the glass and so on. And then it will be a pre-production prototype, so to speak. When spring finally comes here. Spring, spring, spring. Spring's coming. I'm riding around on this thing. Where are you, oh Lord? It's convenient to get around. The birds are singing. It's beautiful. So we're also planting trees at the same time. We've planted them with great care and attention. I even got my kids involved in this too, as a family activity. They're planting together with us by the pond. It's beautiful, heartfelt. Right now, everything is just simply... It's good. It's wonderful. I like living outside the city. After living in Moscow for so long, I like it here more. Forget about it. It's peaceful. You just work for yourself. So that's how it is. People have been asking me to share more details about the engineering system in my new house. Let me tell you a little bit about it. The house itself is made of warm ceramics. Paratanovskaya type, then 150 millimeters of insulation mineral wool. And the facade is finished with clinker brick. The house is very warm. I need to install a heat meter, but it uses very little heating. The heating system itself with heat pumps is located in the first plant. Here, the heating center from Panorovskaya is connected. You could make something like this yourself. Here it comes in from somewhere underground. Heating manifold. Everything is made of stainless steel, pressed fittings. The heating manifold is weather dependent. Right now it's pretty warm outside, so the supply is at 37 degrees. That's more than enough. Here it goes through this. Samara, thermostatic head, and the balancing valve. It goes to the ventilation heating if needed. This line goes to the ventilation cooling, where there is a second heat exchanger, and to the cold ceiling in my office. We decided to experiment with a cold ceiling there. What is a cold ceiling? It's when grooves are cut into the ceiling GVL panels and a 12mm HDPE pipe is inserted into those grooves. Coolant circulates through it right here. Here, as the heat transfer fluid, we use the main fractions diluted from the distilleries. I like their viscosity and they're inexpensive. The cooling comes from the geothermal loop. Here's the circulation pump, and the geothermal loop is 400 meters long. If that's not enough, then on the other side, in the boiler room, we'll use heat exchangers to cool it with running water, which is constantly circulating throughout the entire system. Additionally, since it's the end of summer, our loop might become overloaded and there are no standard air conditioning units here. Only fan coils and a chilled ceiling are present for cooling. Here is a collector. Mr. Metke, as always, does everything thoroughly and with great care. So here are 2 points. These collector cabinets for the underfloor heating, and I also have the window sills and part of the wall under the window heated. That's just how I decided to do it. There's a stainless steel pipe embedded directly into the wall, chased in and sealed. You've all seen this humidification system. There's a ventilation unit over there. This is the AIR system. I don't remember exactly how many cubic meters it's rated for. Maybe for 9, I think. Well, that's basically it. And over there, that's the silencer. Well, that's pretty much everything. If you can see over there, there are heat exchangers for heating and cooling. So that's basically what the boiler room looks like. And here's the control system for all of this. Now let's open the cabinet. Here are our KNX relays. Here they are. As you can see, these switches are the ones that control the lighting in this area. Oh, and the switches for heating control are located in the manifold cabinet over there. These are our boards, which are used for access control. That's it. And we also set up part of it via Bluetooth, so it would work with Alice. We also integrated KNX with Alice by writing a small program in Perl, which runs on our server. We registered as developers in Yandex API, and now everything works. You can control it by voice, which is very convenient. These are the ones where all the circuit breakers for the house are located. And that's all. Let's go ahead and close this up. Now, I wanted to briefly talk about the reverse osmosis system. I've already shown it to you. It also supplies water to both the kitchen and the refrigerator for the ice maker. This is a reverse osmosis system that features a flushing function. There are quite a few membranes inside, 4, I believe, with pressure boosting and membrane pumps installed. And here we have a little server cabinet. Just a second. Yes, in the server cabinet there's a switch and a weak point. Here's another switch like that. Then there's a small UPS, and this is the storage. I keep all sorts of photos there and so on. And here the audio system is distributed throughout the house. These are the kind of amplifiers that are installed, so that's how it is. Yes, and there's ventilation here in my office as well. And in this ceiling, a chilled ceiling system is installed, and the ventilation is also cooled. This side of the house faces south. I put this special architectural film on the windows. It's mirrored here, so it heats up less than it would otherwise. Otherwise, even now, when it's plus 10 degrees outside, it can heat up to as much as 26 degrees in here. And everywhere in our KNX system, we use our own devices like this. Our own advanced thermostat controllers that we designed. It measures humidity and temperature. We made them with electronic ink displays. They are controlled from here, so it has a touch screen. We made it in a case originally meant for outlets. In my opinion, it turned out very nicely. I like how it works. Electronic ink is pretty cool, and it's not very expensive. There are some analogs as well, like Zeneo or something similar. They cost quite a bit of money, probably around $500, maybe $300. That's how it is. What makes this house special? Very high ceilings. Even here, I don't know how many meters it is. 4.5 to 5. I like it. It feels good to breathe here. As for the filtration system, in the neighboring house where I used to live, I actually have a very powerful one with large columns. At the beginning, there is this a sand filter with regeneration, then an ion exchange resin with regeneration using a brine solution. And I also brought a pipe here, and it supplies a lot of things. So there's also a Grundfos booster pump installed here. It's a pump station like this, and the water comes from a well. Here in the Domo de Dovo district, the water table isn't very deep, about 20 meters. The yield here is already pretty decent, but there's a lot of lime and iron. And there's also a pressurized aeration system in the filtration setup. And when the water is filtered, it's quite decent. That's how it is. And it's fine to cook with it too. But we have a reverse system installed. I like it when they make all kinds of soups, so there's no extra aftertaste. And for drinking, it's perfectly fine. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and leave a like.